Hi guys, welcome to part 4 of the SHSAT 2022 math review. So we're on question 77. So Miss Cranston bought 5 bottles of water for 90 cents each and 8 pounds of meat. She paid a total of $26.90 for these items, not including tax. What was the price per pound of the meat? Okay. So this looks like an algebra problem. So she buys 5 bottles of water for 0.9 each, and she buys 8 pounds of meat. So I'm gonna let x is equal to the price per pound of meat. Right. So then if she buys 8 pounds of meat, then the price of that is going to be 8 times the price per pound. So therefore, the total cost is going to be what she paid for the water plus what she paid for the meat, and that's going to be $26.90. And now we can solve for x, which is the price per pound of the meat. So 5 times 0.9 is going to be 4.5 plus 8x is equal to 26.90. Now we're going to subtract 450. Right, this cancels out, and we're left with 8x is equal to, let's do this subtraction, so it's 2240. And now we're going to divide by 8, and we would get x is equal to, here, let's do this division. So 2, 16, right, leave out the decimal, and then, okay, and then we have to add the decimal in the right place, so we're just gonna bring it up, right? Okay. So that's going to be 280 per pound of meat, which is going to be A. Okay, so 78 now. So in a sample of 10 cards, 4 are red and 6 are blue. Now if 2 cards are selected at random from the sample, one at a time without replacement, right, so they're not replaced, what is the probability that both cards are not blue? So another way of putting it is, what are the probability that both cards are red? So let's look at the probability that the first card is red. So there are 10 cards, and 4 of them are red at first. Now if we pick a red card, right, we want both of the cards to be red. So that means that we must have picked a red card on the first time. So that means that there will be 3 red cards left, right? Because we had 4, we picked 1. And there will be 9 or 10 minus 1 total cards left. So these are our probabilities, right, of picking red the first time and the second time, given that we picked red the first time. And so we need both of these events to happen. So we multiply the probabilities together, right, because we're picking red both times, so we need both of these to happen. Okay, and now let's simplify. So 4/10 is 2/5, and 3/9 is 1/3. So this would be 2/15, which would be, okay, 79. So we have different conversions here. A nation has 5 types of coins: sins, dults, lorgs, harps, and plunks. The relationship between the coins is shown above, and we want to know which coin is most valuable. Okay, so basically this is sort of, I guess, like a logic problem. So one of the things that we can do is okay, so I'm gonna like look at this and this right here. So if I multiply this by 2, then I get 2 plunks is equal to 6 harps. And here I have 2 plunks is equal to 5 dolts. Actually, sorry, let me redo this. So if 1 sind is equal to 4 lorgs, then we know that so 4 lorgs makes a sind, so therefore sind must be more valuable than lorg, right? Because it takes 4 lorgs to make a sind. Now if 2 plunks is equal to 5 dolts, then that means that 1 plunk is equal to 2.5 dolts. And therefore the plunk again is going to be more valuable than the dolt. Alright, so let's keep going. So if 5 sinds is equal to 2 harps, that means that 2.5 sinds is equal to 1 harp, and therefore the harp is going to be more valuable than the sind, right? Because it takes 2.5 sinds to make 1 harp. And then 1 plunk for 3 harps, that means that plunk is more valuable than harp. Okay, so let's look at these inequalities here, see if we can order them. So it looks like, so let's look at this one and this one. So if the harp is more valuable than the sind, and the sind is more valuable than the lorg, then we can say that the harp is more valuable than the sind, which is more valuable than the lorg, right? So we're using that transitive property, right? Because, yeah. Right, so we can use that transitive property, right? Harp is greater than sind is greater than lorg, and so harp is greater than sind, which is greater than lorg. Okay, so now let's look at the other ones. So we have plunk is greater than harp, so therefore plunk will go here. And finally, we have plunk is greater than dolt. So dolt, we know plunk is greater than dolt, so dolt is going to be like somewhere here, right? So it's not the most valuable. And so we see here that plunk is the most valuable because it's greater than everything else, so it'll be D. Okay, so now we're on to 80. So the faculty of a certain four-year college consists of 179 teachers. There are 663 first-year students. And the student to faculty ratio for the entire college is 15 to 1. What is the total number of second, third, and fourth year students? So we know that the number of students to the number of faculty is 15 to 1. And we know that the number of faculty is 179, right? Because the faculty consists of 179 teachers. And then we know that the first year students the total number of first year students is 663. And then let's say that X represents the number of second, third, and fourth year students. So we know that the number of first year students plus the number of second, third, and fourth year students is going to be the total number of students. So we know that the total number of students over the total number of teachers must be 15 to 1. And now I want to solve for the number of second, third, and fourth year students, right? So we want to solve for x. So we can cross multiply here. So we would have 1 times 663 plus x is equal to 15 times 179. And therefore, we have 663 plus x. And then here I'm going to do, I guess you don't have a calculator. Here, I guess we can just crunch that out. Okay, so that would be 15 times 179. So let me clear up some space. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this. So this is 663 plus x is equal to 2685. Therefore, x is going to be 2685 minus 663, which is 2202. So x is 2022. And that's the total number of second, third, and fourth year students. Okay. Let's erase this. Okay, so now we're on to question 81. So we were given sort of like a graph of, or I don't know, I guess like a circular graph of how people get to work in Center City. So it looks like most of the people are driving alone. Some of the people are carpooling, some of them are walking, some are taking the bus, some are bicycling. And we're told that the total number of people in Center City is 1,500. So that's the size of this circular graph. How many more people in Center City walk to work than ride their bicycle to work? Okay, so if we look at the number of people that walk to work, it's 22%. So we need to know 22% of, so I'll say number of walkers is 22% of 15,000. And so we can say that this is 22% is 22 over 100 times 15,000. So 2 of our zeros cancel out. And this is equal to 22 times 150. And that would be, here, let's see, what would that be? Here, I guess we have to do the math. Okay, so the short answer is 22% of 15,000 is 3300. Now, here, hang on one sec. Now, a shortcut that you could use to get that is, you know that 1% of 15,000 is gonna just be 150. Oh, I guess that's sort of the same thing. You would still have to. Well, then actually you could say that like 2% is going to be 300, and 22% is 20% plus 2%. And so this is 300 plus, and then 20% of 1500 is just 1/5 times 15K. So this is going to be 3,000 and 300. But anyway, that was like a shortcut. You don't need to do that. Okay. And then the number of people that bike to work, that's 4%. So 4% of 15K is, well, we know that 1% is equal to 150, right? We just chop off 2 zeros off of 15,000, and then so 4% is going to be 150 times 4, right? Because 1% times 4 is 4%. So this would be 600. Okay, so we know that there are 3,300 walkers, 600 bikers. So how many more walkers are there than bikers? 3,300 minus 600, which is 2,700. Okay, now another way you could do this problem is say, okay, I know that there are 22% walkers and 4% bikers, so if I want to know how many more walkers, I know that that's going to be 18%, and it's going to be 18% of 15K, and if I just solve for this, I would get the same answer of 27,000 or 2,700. Okay, and we'll continue with 82 in the next part.